Have you ever wondered how AI could learn to predict whether a driver will slow down for a pedestrian or help someone in need on the road? That's the tricky challenge researchers are tackling with a new approach called self-supervised learning. Let's break it down, and why it's a big deal for the future of smart cars and human-machine interaction. So here's the problem. Predicting prosocial behavior, like yielding, helping others, or being considered in traffic, is super hard for AI. Why? Because there's almost no large, labeled datasets out there. Most studies use tiny groups of participants, maybe 12 to 50 people, which means just a few thousand data points. That's not enough for powerful AI models like transformers or CNNs to learn effectively. But what if we could teach AI without needing tons of labeled data? That's where self-supervised learning comes in. Think of it like learning a language without a teacher. Instead of being told, "This is a cat," the AI learns patterns by solving puzzles in the data itself. For example, it might guess a missing piece of a sentence or reconstruct a distorted image. In this study, researchers used multimodal data, combining physiological signals like heart rate, skin response, and eye movements with behavioral cues. They didn't start from scratch. Instead, they pre-trained their model on massive, unlabeled datasets from other studies. Imagine teaching a kid to recognize shapes by showing them thousands of pictures of animals, even if you don't label each one as a dog or cat. To test their idea, the team created a VR simulator where participants navigated a virtual city. They had to decide whether to help other road users, like slowing down for a pedestrian or giving directions. The VR setup tracked everything, where participants looked, their heart rate, and even their body movements. It's like giving the AI a 360-degree view of human behavior. The magic happened in 2 steps. First, the AI learned general patterns from diverse data sources, like how heart rate changes during stress or how eye movements signal attention. Then, it fine-tuned itself on a smaller, manually labeled dataset of prosocial actions. This hybrid approach let them build a model that works even with limited data. And the results? The model accurately predicted prosocial behavior in 59% of cases, a solid improvement over previous methods. More importantly, it showed that AI can learn to read human intentions without needing endless labeled examples. Why does this matter? Imagine self-driving cars that not only avoid accidents, but also anticipate when a driver might need help. Or apps that detect when someone is stressed and offer support. This research is a step toward smarter systems that understand us, not just data. So next time you see a car that seems aware, remember, it might be learning from the same kind of human behavior we're all part of. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and let's keep exploring how AI can make our world a little more human. Ever wondered how machines could understand human behavior, like knowing when someone is about to act kindly or cooperatively? That's the goal of this exciting research, which uses biology and movement to predict prosocial behavior. Let's break it down. The study looked at 2 main types of data: physiological signals, like heart rate, skin conductance, and pupil size, and body movement, tracking where people move their heads, arms, and hands. These signals are like a body's secret language, revealing emotions and intentions. But how do you turn this data into predictions? The researchers tested 3 approaches. The first used a self-supervised learning model, SSLPBIP, which first learns patterns from raw data without explicit instructions. Think of it like learning to recognize a song by hearing it repeatedly, not by being told the lyrics. This model then combined physiological data with movement info using a special neural network called an LSTM, which is great at handling time-based data. The second approach, LSTM-PBIP, skipped the pre-training step, directly feeding processed physiological and movement data into the same LSTM. The third, trans-PBIP, replaced the LSTM with transformer layers, which are powerful for spotting complex patterns. And there was a special case, using only physiological data to see if movement was even necessary. The results? The SSLPBIP model outperformed the others by 5–6% in accuracy, and 3–5% in balance between precision and recall. That's huge. It showed that pre-training on physiological data helps models generalize better, even when combined with movement cues. Surprisingly, the SSL model using only biological signals beat the others that had full data, proving that our bodies speak volumes without needing to move. But here's the kicker: timing matters. The best predictions came from analyzing data in 5-second windows, with the most critical info in the 2 seconds before an action. It's like catching a tennis ball. Your body reacts a split second before your brain realizes it. So what does this mean? Better AI for autonomous vehicles, robots, or even mental health tools could read subtle cues to improve safety and user experience. Imagine a self-driving car that senses when a pedestrian is about to cross, or a robot that knows when to offer help. This research isn't just about numbers. It's about bridging the gap between human behavior and machine understanding. And the future? More data, smarter models, and a deeper dive into how we intend to act before we even do. Stay curious, and let's keep exploring how tech can truly get us. Ever wondered how machines might one day understand your emotions? Like really get when you're stressed, happy, or frustrated? Well, researchers are making huge leaps in teaching AI to decode human feelings, using everything from your heartbeat to the way you speak. Let's break down how this works and why it's a game changer. At the heart of this is something called speech-emotion recognition, a fancy way of saying, can a computer tell how someone feels just by listening to them? But here's the twist. Traditional methods needed tons of labeled data, like hours of audio with explicit tags like angry or sad. That's not just time-consuming, it's also biased because human emotions are super complex. Enter self-supervised learning, a breakthrough approach where models learn patterns on their own. Think of it like teaching a kid to recognize animals by showing them thousands of pictures without telling them what they are. They figure out the patterns themselves. A 2020 paper introduced WAVTVEC2, a system that analyzes speech without needing explicit labels. It's like giving the AI a giant puzzle and letting it solve it, learning the rules as it goes. But here's the challenge. Emotions aren't one size fits all. A laugh might mean joy in one context or sarcasm in another. That's where transformers come in. These are neural networks designed to handle sequences, like speech or text, by focusing on the most relevant parts. Transformers use attention mechanisms to weigh the importance of different words or sounds, allowing them to capture subtle emotional nuances. In practice, this means the model doesn't just memorize labels. It learns to associate acoustic features, like pitch, tone, and rhythm, with emotional states. For example, a rising intonation might signal excitement, while a monotone voice could indicate depression. By pre-training on vast amounts of unlabeled speech data, the model builds a robust internal representation of how emotions manifest in sound. This has huge implications. Imagine a mental health app that detects early signs of anxiety through voice patterns, or a customer service AI that adjusts its tone based on a user's emotional state. The goal isn't just to recognize emotions, it's to enable machines to respond with empathy, creating more natural and effective human-machine interactions. As self-supervised learning advances, we're moving closer to AI that truly understands us. It's not about replacing human intuition but augmenting it, creating tools that are not just smart, but sensitive. The future of AI isn't just about processing data, it's about decoding the human experience. Thanks for watching. Stay curious and let's keep pushing the boundaries of what machines can learn and how they can help us grow.